Spread is 8.5. Thunder home favorites here. Total of 220.5. So, Jenks, I know this doesn't look like the most thrilling game on paper. It does feel like this series is pretty much over. Am I missing something? Or do you just, lay the 8.5 with the Thunder?
I mean, I would lay the points here. I just kind of feel like it's over. And I kind of feel like we're getting a little bit of value here because the Timberwolves won in that blowout in the earlier game in Minnesota, and then the Timberwolves lost but covered the number in the second game. Here, I feel like, is when, look, Oklahoma City does not want to go back to Minneapolis for another game. They want to close this bad boy out. They have a chance to do it. Their offense is much better at home than it is on the road, which is true for a lot of teams, but especially the Thunder. And I just kind of feel like here is where the Thunder go for the jugular and say we can end this thing right now and then make a statement tonight. So it's a big number. It's always a big number when you're talking about Oklahoma City, particularly at home, but I'd lay it.
Yeah, I think I would do that as well. Or you can do the old faithful and put it in a parlay. The Thunder minus 375 on the money line. I think maybe I'll concoct one of those same game parlays where I take the Thunder on the money line and take something that's like minus 250 or something. Something that already jumped out to me is normally when it's an elimination game, that's when you take the superstars on the team that's on the brink of elimination. Because Anthony Edwards may not get great shots, as we've seen all series long. The Thunder defense has been absolutely stifling. And I think that's one of the reasons why this series is not much of a series anymore, because the Thunder have done such a good job of defending the paint. But I think Anthony Edwards is going to force his way into a ton of shots. Maybe he's not going to be very efficient, but I do think that if it's a last gasp for this team, Anthony Edwards is at least going to try to do something. His points prop is sitting at 27.5. That's a touch high for me. So maybe you play an alt line there, but you can get Julius Randle to score 15 plus points. And you can combine that with OKC on the money line. That is minus 115 because, again, he's not Anthony Edwards, but Julius Randle has been surprisingly consistent this postseason, at least what you've seen based on his time with the Knicks. He has been averaging 18 points per game this season. So him to get 15 plus points in this game, OKC on the money line, maybe that's a parlay that makes the card for me. Jenks, are you going to cook up a parlay with OKC on the money line, or are you just going to lay the points?
I'm probably just going to lay the points here. I mean, I like your parlay idea for sure. I think that's a good way to play it because you're right about Anthony Edwards, and we always know how good Anthony Edwards is. It's just that he hasn't been as consistent as maybe we would have liked to have seen throughout the playoffs and in particular in this series. But yeah, he has the ability to go off anytime, and frankly, even Chris Finch has said this. If we're going to win, he has to play like we see him play, which is at that elite level all of the time. It's the only way they're going to have a chance. So I can absolutely see the situation like you were talking about where the Thunder win, but Ant Edwards goes off in an attempt to keep his team alive. So that's a good way to play it.
Yeah, there's not a ton of angles in this game just because it does feel like maybe it's not going to be a competitive game. But I will say this, because I think that it's always good to entertain both sides of the equation because we're a betting show. It's good to explore all options. So I think the way that the Timberwolves win this game is that they absolutely need to make their shots. They're not going to make a ton of high percentage shots down low. We've seen that all series long, that you're not getting to the paint. But you got to get to the free throw line more, and you have to make your threes. So we've seen it from some of the other guys, not the superstars. Dante DiVincenzo has been big from the three-point line. He was last game, but yet the Timberwolves still didn't win it. So maybe that's the formula in which the Timberwolves win. And then everything has to go absolutely wrong for the Thunder, which is kind of hard for me to even put my mind in that headspace just because they are so predicated on defense. And this feels very repeatable to me, as opposed to a team that lives and dies by the three-point shot, which sometimes can be a little volatile, as we've seen with the Celtics. A team that brings an A-plus defense to the court every single night, that feels like something that is repeatable. And there is a reason why we say defense wins championships. So I let the thought live in my brain for just a minute that the Timberwolves could win this game. Jenks, do you think there's a scenario in which the Timberwolves win it here?
No, I just don't. I think this is the time. I mean, if you're Oklahoma City, you did what you needed to do, and you got one in Minneapolis, and I can't foresee them letting up to the point where They have it. The last thing they want is for this to go back to Minneapolis to give the Timberwolves some much needed momentum, and then they're in a critical game 7 at home, which they would probably win. But why go through all of that? Like, if you're Mark Daigneault, then you have to tell your guys, look, do not lose your focus now. Like, one game, we win tonight, we play our game, we're playing for a world championship. And we'll get some rest to boot. Maybe an extra day or two, doesn't matter. We'll get some extra rest. We don't have to continue going back and forth. Do you want to get on the road again, or do you want to win tonight and play for a title? Like, I can't see the Thunder unless everyone goes cold, or, look, there's always a chance the Timberwolves could go off and Ant Edwards just loses his mind from long range and Julius Randle goes off. Of course, that's always a possibility. Sports, it's the NBA. I just can't really make a case unless it's one of those, wow, the Thunder couldn't hit and the Timberwolves hit everything.
Yeah, because I feel like I need to remind myself that last game was only decided by 2 points. So, things went comically wrong for the Timberwolves in the first half, but yet they were very much in this game. Anthony Edwards was pretty much on a milk carton the first half of this game just because the defense was so good, but the Thunder weren't running away with it. Is it going to shock me if the Thunder score 140 points in this one and it's not even close? No. I am just saying that we have seen the Timberwolves at least make it a game, and this is an 8.5-point spread. So something to consider if you are betting on this game. Okay, so this has been making the rounds, and a lot of people have been talking about this because it's one of those long plays where you zoom out and you're like, wow, what a job that Sam Presti has done at orchestrating this team in Oklahoma City, because somebody put this thread on Twitter showing all of the moves that Sam Presti has made to turn, a team in Seattle in 2007 into this juggernaut that we see in Oklahoma City now. And too long didn't read. It's like all of these picks that originally stemmed from a Rashard Lewis trade to the Magic. And sometimes this is how teams are built, especially when you play in a smaller market, because Oklahoma City is not usually getting, the big free agents. Most guys are not, vying to play in a market like Oklahoma City. So you have to build it from the ground up. But Jenks, you look at this list of all these trades and all of the building blocks that it's taken to get here, it's damn impressive.
Oh, it's incredible. Sam Presti has done a remarkable job for a long time, and you can go through this list and it's incredible to watch. But the real move that he made was in 2019 when he traded away Paul George and got SGA and Danilo Gallinari, 5 first-rounders and 2 pick swaps. And those were the real keys. Like SGA, of course. But then you add 5 first-rounders to your haul and 2 pick swaps. And I remember back then, seems like not that long ago, even though it was, everyone said at the time, wow, if the Thunder do the right things with these picks, watch out. Because Sam Presti already had established himself as one of the best GMs in the NBA. And now he's got this talent with these first rounders, and all he's done is make great picks, like more great picks, like build this team, and now we're seeing it come to fruition. Like even last year, we're like, it's just a matter of time. You can see it. It's just a matter of time before the Thunder are crazy good. They're already very good. They're about to take the next step, but it all started years ago. You could see it coming, and here we are.
Right, and how many times have we seen an NBA team kind of get greedy and say, hey, I want a superstar now, and I don't care what it takes that I have to trade away from this team. We're going to get Paul George now. And no disrespect to Paul George, because at the time he was a very good player. Still is. He just sometimes hurt or not playing or podcasting. But this is what we've seen in the NBA. And these trades a lot of times don't work out. Like how many times have we seen a huge blockbuster trade? Most of the time it's like involving Kevin Durant and the team doesn't win a championship.